Man United, as the holders of the FA Cup, are out. They lost at home to Fulham on penalties after a very poor game. I'm here with Rich and Marcel, Houston Red Army, Mr. Passion. You want to start us off?
I just really don't really have a whole lot because it just wasn't really a whole lot in the game that they gave, man. I mean, there were a couple people who kind of like tried to give a little spark, tried to give a little bit of a spark and everything like that. But for the most part, it was just a drab, really mediocre performance from a team that is really trying to come from where they were being dreadful at first and trying to rebuild. And it's disappointing that we won't be able to go forward in the FA Cup and everything, but I understand that this is a year we just got to write off because this is rebuilding right now. This is basically the progress that we have to make. And every time we lose, every time we play like this, it just shows the board, it shows any of us what Amram has to work with right now, what he will need to work with going forward. So if we really want to have this team progressing in next season after that, and make a really good turnaround, we're going to have to get rid of a lot of the dead weight that was playing, some of it today, and basically bring in people who want to basically die for this system and play so well for this badge, and we just don't have that right now. And that's how it reflected today. So that's really all I got, man.
Rich, how did you see this game?
I saw this game as I've been seeing, honestly, every single game this season. It's no consistency. You can't rely on these players. There's only a hand select full of players that you can rely on. And until we get better leadership by the owners, you can't see anything different on this pitch. You can't. That's period. Ineos have came in. They gave the Glazers somewhat of a band-aid, of a scapegoat. So if anything goes wrong, we can blame it on Ineos.
That's right.
Instead of the Glazers being the sole benefactors of screwing this team over, screwing this club over. They've put no money into this club. They put no money into training. They put no money into anything. And you expect a different product. Amrin is a great coach. I love Ten Hag. Ten Hag was given maybe 30 to 35% of what he needed in order to succeed. And anybody in that situation is not going to succeed. You put Amrin into a situation where you're like, hey, I need you to build me a Bugatti, but I'm going to give you parts for a Hyundai Sonata.
It's going to happen.
It's not going to happen. You can't give somebody these players and expect them to work in positions that they don't play. They have to get accustomed to it while they're already... When Amron was handed this team, what place were they already in? We already in, what, 4th, 5th, 6th already? And you give this guy these players, they can't perform for him because they're not used to playing these positions. They're not used to his scheme. You force them in, and of course they're trying to learn on the fly. It's too much of a change, too fast. But the good thing about it is, I'll say this, it's gonna get really bad and it can't get too far worse. If they give him players that fit his system in the next coming off season, then we have a chance.
Right.
If you give him players that can fit his scheme, can understand what he's expecting from them, we'll be fine. We'll get better. But better from 14th place, from 15th place is bad. It's real bad.
Was there any spark today? Was there any player?
Obi was the spark. Obi was trying his hardest. He needs a little polish in front of goal and everything, but he was in good positions. He was making proper runs. He was doing what he needed to do in order to try to earn a number 9 spot on this squad. And that's why I really had a whole lot of confidence in him. It's a shame he wasn't able to score his goal because he really did have some chances that he didn't exactly get right. But for the most part, Obi was really somebody impressive. What the hell's going on with Garnacho? What the entire hell is going on with this kid?
Mr. Selfish?
He is absolutely trying to be Ronaldo, and you're not Ronaldo. You're not even Ron. You're just Garnacho. So you should really be passing some of these skills. And I'm going to say this here, because somebody who I used to like defend to the hip and everything right now is playing a whole lot better in Aston Villa than he was playing here. And he hasn't made passes. He's going 4 assists right now. And who we have in his place, and I was always saying this, you want to get rid of him, that's fine. But have somebody in his place that can do the job just as good and better than he can, and we haven't found that yet. So, thank you, Aubrey, for all your efforts and everything. Xerxes, I see an improvement finally. Rasmus, I don't know what's going on with you, bro. And that right-handed attack is not going to be the same until Diallo comes back.
It's hard to disagree with anything you say, my friend. Honestly, I agree with everything you say. I'll say this. The moment Ahmad got injured, this team was doomed.
I knew that.
We
Yeah.
were doomed.
Yeah.
The moment
And
Ahmad got
Kobe.
injured, yeah.
And Kobe.
And Kobe, honestly. And Kobe.
But more
Yeah,
Ahmad because
More Ahmad, but Ahmad and Kobe, yeah.
This team is heavy on defenders as far as center backs go. We have way too many center backs when we only play 3. Most teams play 4, we have 3. And we have too many of them. We have Mazraoui that is, I guess you would consider more of a right back than a center back. But obviously, he's not a wing back. You have Dallo is completely out of his own. Dallo looks like he has no idea what's going on
No.
at any given time. We have midfielders. You have Bruno that should be playing forward, but he has to come back in order to get the ball and progress the ball forward.
True.
There's way too many issues. I don't even have to explain what's going on with the front 3. The front 3, there's no need to explain it. It's so bad
It's so bad.
from the back 3 going forward that there's no reason to even have to explain what's going on with them. It's just it's bad. All the way
On a
around.
scale of 1 to 10, what would you give United's performance today?
Oh, man, that's a 3 or a 4, man. It wasn't really good at all. Like,
Rich?
I say 4
4 out of 10.
Yeah, 4 out of 10. Yeah, easily.
So now that United are out of the FA Cup, so there is no chance of a Manchester derby again for the 3rd consecutive year because we are out and Man City progressed yesterday. So our chances of going back to Wembley, Europe now relies solely on Europa. Can United win the Europa League?
No.
I want to say no, but they would win it not because of how well they play, but because of how bad Europa is.
Right.
That's why they win.
And because the big things that normally fall
Exactly.
in are not falling in.
Are not falling in. So if we win Europa, that's why.
Until we get owners that actually care about what's going on the pitch, this club will never change. It will never change. Until we get owners that actually care about winning. Right now we have owners, all they care about is their bottom line. As long as they're making money every single year. If I own a lemonade stand, and the lemonade stand is making me money, X amount of money every single year, but I had customers complaining to me about stuff, if the lemonade stand is making me money, why should I care about what they're complaining about? I'm making money. Until we get owners that actually care about what's happening on the pitch, this will not change. It's been happening since Fergie was out there. I can name a dozen players that they brought in as the name on the back of the jersey type players.
Yep.
You can go with Pogba. You can go with I can just go
Martial. Schneiderlin. Fellaini.
There's so many players that they brought in as
Don't
just
forget
to
Di
appease
Maria.
the players. I mean, just to appease the crowd. But until they actually care about winning, nothing will change. They don't care about winning. They care about their bottom line, and their bottom line is doing great. I got a scarf on. I got a new shirt on I bought. I guarantee you, we buy jerseys every single year.
I refuse to buy.
I refuse
to buy.
Until
This was the one they want to win the Champions League
That
in
was in
2008.
08. Yeah.
until this club as an organization starts losing money and they decide, you know what, it's no longer in our financial benefit, then we can see some progress. Until then, nothing's going to change.
Right.
So I'm not surprised by these types of losses.
Right.
I'm not surprised by any of it. Bruno is amazing, and he's a huge headache at the same time. But at the same time, if you take Bruno off the pitch,
Where
who
the
else do
goals
we
coming
have?
from?
There's nobody else left.
Yeah.
There's
Ahmad is injured, so it's only Bruno now scoring the goals. We are done. We are so doomed. Next week we have Arsenal at Old Trafford. Arsenal are already giving up the league title. Now they're just playing for pride. All I can say is this season is now down to Europa. Can we win the Europa? We don't know.
We don't know.
But we'll just have to take it as it's. Well, from history
And
right
that,
down.
and that game on Thursday, the Europa game, that's also my birthday. So hopefully they'll give me a better birthday
Oh,
present.
boy.
This
But
season is over.
But it's
It's
a wrap.
over.
It's a wrap.
Point-wise, we won't make relegation. So
No.
when people say, "Oh, we're in relegation contention" and stuff like that, we're not going to get relegated. But at the same time, this team is horrible, absolutely horrible,
Don't blame
and
me.
it won't change until Amarin gets a full season. Until Amarin gets a full season. Nice place. When Amarin gets a full season to actually coach these players on what he's expecting, until Amarin gets a full season to get players in that actually fits what he's trying to do, nothing is going to change.
I can see some more heavy losses before the season ends.
Absolutely.
Well-
Arsenal is going to kick our butts. And I don't even have to be an analytics person. I don't have to be a Man United fan. They're going to kick our butts, period. They may have went out of first place contention. They are going to lay it on us
Yeah, the
because they
anger.
have a better team and they know how to move the ball,
Better than
period.
us. Yeah.
This team does not know how to move the ball. It's like watching 4-year-olds play soccer for the
Yeah.
first time.
Yeah.
This team is absolutely abysmal.
Well,
So
Well-
you can't rely on them to make any progress. The
No.
only thing you can rely on is that they're going to make bigger losses.
right.
This
Well,
team is going to make bigger losses.
you have heard it from Houston Red Army on the day United relinquished the hold as the holders of the FA Cup, as being knocked out on penalties to Fulham at Old Trafford. From all of us, Houston Red Army, Mr. Passion and Rich, glory, glory.
Man